Welcome to Center Heist Productions. It is December 22nd, 3 days before that day. All right, please first hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that. And thanks to my followers. And if you could, please share with your friends and family and get them to subscribe and follow and like. And if you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes. It would help the channel to go much further, as we have built a channel for 2 years now that is a reputable channel built on integrity. When we do our reports here, we stick to doing reviews is what we've been doing, and any information, any factual information on the Habs we stick to. We kind of try to avoid Rumorville as much as possible. All right, so thank you for joining me, and yeah, let's get right to it. We had a weekend series. Won the first game against Detroit, 4-3 Friday night. Then Saturday, Detroit was in Montreal. And so for the series, and Montreal took the game. The final score was 5-1, quite decisively. And we'll give you the stats and talk about it briefly. All right, first period, Montreal has a strong first period, 3-1 for the Habs. Second period, the Habs add 2. No scoring for Detroit, and no scoring in the third for Detroit. Final score 5-1. Montembeault gets the victory. Lyon was in the net for Detroit. Jake Evans gets a game-winning goal. And Patrick Lanny scored on the power play again. And the Montreal Canadiens beat the Detroit Red Wings. Second straight night, 5-1 on Saturday. Yuri Slafkovsky, Jake Evans, Emil Heineman, and Brendan Gallagher also scored in Montreal's high season third straight win. First time they did it this year, 3 straight wins. Nick Suzuki and Lane Hudson each had 2 assists. Sam Montembeault stopped 20 shots in his 9th consecutive start, and second in 2 nights against Detroit. The Canadiens beat the Red Wings Friday night. And I don't know why they got written up 4-2. It was 4-3. So anyway, it is what it is. I'm going to check something very briefly because I'm positive. Yeah, it was 4-3. So that's Sportsnet screwing up their reports. That shows you how well they do their reports, eh? No errors. All right. Yeah. All right. First star was Yuri Slafkovsky. He had a strong game. Nice to see. Hitting, winning board battles, and he had a few good chances and a few good opportunities to set up. Played a much better game. So he got a goal, +1. Second star was Jake Evans. Jake had a strong game, 1 goal, 1 assist. Emil Heineman had a strong game, third star, 1 goal, 2 assists. Or not 2 assists, no. Jake only had a goal, sorry. And yeah, Yuri let's do that again. First star, 1 goal, Yuri Slafkovsky, +1. Jake Evans, 1 goal, +1. Emil Heineman, 1 goal, +2. All right, so here's how the game started, and we started on the wrong foot. This was odd. Detroit started the scoring at 6:41. Joe Velino assisted by Jonathan Berggren and Mort Sider. And at 14:14, Yuri Slafkovsky gets his 4th goal of the season, assisted by Nick Suzuki and Lane Hudson. And at 15:26, Jake Evans scores his 7th goal of the season, assisted by Yoel Armia and Alexandre Carrier. 19:21, Patrick Lanny on the power play. Once again, 8 straight goals on the power play for Patrick Lanny. And he was assisted by Lane Hudson and Nick Suzuki at 19:21. Then we went into the second period, and Emil Heineman beat gets a nice wrister off, assisted by Christian Dvorak. Lonnie's was a bomb. Jake Evans had a nice goal, and Yuri Slavkovsky had one in front of the net. Okay, so at 13:03, Brendan Gallagher finally gets a goal. It's been a while. A little bit. He was going a few games there. He was probably getting concerned, but I think he was playing hard enough that we're quite content with him. That was his ninth goal of the season, assisted by Josh Anderson and David Savard. Third period, no scoring. Here's the shots on goal: 24-21. Low shots in this game. Average. Montreal had the advantage by 3 shots, 24-21. Hits, 20-19, favor of Detroit. Fairly close though. Face-offs, 28-21 in favor of the Habs. Power play, 0 for 4 again, Detroit. And from Montreal, 1 for 5. Penalty minutes, 10-8 for Detroit. Giveaways, 22-17 for Detroit. Takeaways, 4-3 for the Habs. Block shots, 17-12 for Detroit. Detroit's been beating us in that department, oddly enough. Anyway, penalty summary. Mike Matheson gets one in the first, 4:24, 2 minutes for slashing. Jeff Petrie gets one, 2 minutes for interference. Dylan Larkin gets one at 18:36, 2 minutes for interference. Then we go into the second period. 4:10, Michael Rumison, 2 minutes for tripping. 7:20, Caden Gooley, 2 minutes for tripping. Emil Heineman, 2 minutes for holding. 17:24. Then we go into the third period. William Legason, 2 minutes for hooking. Kirby Doc takes the penalty again. This has been quite frequent that he's taken these penalties. Not good ones either at the end of the third periods. So he stays consistent with that. 14:54, 2 minutes for hooking. Michael Rumison gets another penalty, 16:26, 2 minutes for hooking. That is your game. Quite a good game. That power play is just working beautifully. I know they started moving it around a bit and had Lanny later on not in that spot, and you could tell it made a difference. They were trying to move Caulfield and Suzuki in that area a bit. Overall, strong game, Habs. I'd say Kirby probably was hate to say it, weakest link. Even Newhook had a half decent game. So, played half decently. Um, Mind you, like I say, I just wish his physicality would show up. Anyway, but he did have effort in there. He played a better game. Um, Overall, good forechecking by the Habs. They win the weekend series, which I'm amazed. I'm saying this, sweeping that weekend series, and it almost makes the Habs relevant. What a difference this weekend is, and if they can take, I mean, I know a lot of critics are saying take 2 of the 3 games this week. I disagree. I say you got to take all 3 to just get yourself close to 500 in the 500 ballpark and make yourself, because you got 3 games after Monday's game against Columbus, and they're all top teams at the end of the month after Christmas, and it's Florida, Tampa, and Vegas, and there's a strong chance you're losing all 3 of those games, which will balance back everything again. So you got to jump on these 3. So proud of the boys for sweeping this. They played well. Monty was strong. I like this William Carrier. He's impressed me thus far. Just in 2 games, his work ethic. I like his work ethic. There's a lot of hustle. He's good on the boards, doesn't back down, and he doesn't get intimidated either. Even though he's on the smaller, 5. I shouldn't say small. Well, he's small, 5'11". He does not back down because he's a good, solid defenseman and very good partner for Caden Gooley. They seem to be quite well. I still see the problems with Matheson and Hudson, still making a lot of errors that are causing rushes. There's a couple plays there early on too. I think it was the first period that I couldn't believe my eyes that um, when that pairing was on, they let the wings walk right into the front of the net, untouched. I couldn't believe I was watching as much as I love Hudson and his offensive side, and I do, I really do. But boy, he can make some dopey plays in his own ends. Him and Matheson, they make me shake my head. Matheson seems to have a problem with his skates. He's always falling down. Just it's like a, and it's a weird fall. It's like he's got ice picks on his blades, for figure skating because it's always this odd click type of fall, and he trips over his own foot. I don't, and very odd to see, but he does. One thing I say about Matheson, he makes up for it in other areas. He at least puts the effort out. But boy, these two, they're not cohesive whatsoever. I thought the other four defensemen played a half decent game. I thought, there was good points and ups and downs with the first pairing, but a lot of their mistakes are usually made by those two. Like the night before, all three goals were on those two defensemen making errors. So, got to say something, doesn't it? So with that being said, anyway, at least overall, they played as a team again. This is two nights in a row that they've played like a team. They keep doing that. They may be relevant, in the rearview mirror at least. However, I guess it shoots. It's starting to. I mean, I believe they just leapfrogged Detroit and Buffalo. Maybe, maybe even the Islanders. I got to look at that. That one's a little closer, but I know they leapfrogged Detroit and Buffalo for sure. So kind of throwing themselves out of the top five pick, but putting themselves in the picture in the rear view mirror, just behind, Ottawa and that gang there for a wild card. But so it's respectable the way. What a difference it's been since Lonnie's been back. You got to hats off to the guy. I'm impressed with the difference. It's perked up Slavkovsky as his game is coming slowly. Like the last two nights, you could see a better game from Friday, and then you can see even a better game from him last night than Friday. So he's starting to get more physical, moving his feet, using his body, using that physicality, and getting in front of the net and causing some havoc and a great screen because teams are having a time with a big body like that in front of the net, and that's what you want. And I liked seeing last night he took a shot again from a weird angle when he had no option to pass, and a smart move because he's gotten the odd goal that way. Just catching goalies napping, not expecting the shot. So that shows some intelligence to take those. I used to do that when I played myself. I would take shots from anywhere, just to because you always knew a goaltender is not going to expect it, or the team, your opposition doesn't expect it, a lot of players to take shots from certain spots. That's all the more reason to do it. So that being said, great on them. Emil Heineman, I just love this kid. This kid is what a spark plug. He just works his tail off, and quite a good wrist shot on him, the kid. But his work ethic is great, and you know what, Christian Dvorak, you got to give him some love. He's been playing some really good hockey of late, for the last stretch, and Anderson as well has played, and Galley, and good to see Galley get back on the board with a goal. But that line's been a strong line. But that fourth line, oh my word, that fourth line has been such a pleasant surprise, with Emil Heineman, Evans, and Armia. Boy, is that line gelled beautifully, and they're like an extra line one. I mean, there's been more success with those two bottom lines than the first two lines, which is odd, and it's good because you're getting scoring from other areas. But now we're starting to see the first line starting to get some life again, and that's good to see. Now, if we can get that second line to, I like Kirby had some good moments and some bad moments. Let's put it that way. There was some effort out there, but yeah, just don't like those dumb penalties. Clean that up. wasn't, it was probably a little better of a performance, but he's still got a long ways to go, and I think he does need a reset. I love Kirby, but I want Kirby of the Doc we seen before his injury. That's what we're all waiting for, because this is not the Doc before his injury. But we're all trying to be patient, but it's getting hard. And yeah, I think he does need a little bit of okay. It's one thing for the injury, but it's efforts. The efforts make the extra efforts. And yeah, overall, good, good game, good solid game. Now, if they can take, like I say, I don't agree with the rest of the so-called experts out there. I think we need to take that game in Columbus and not take it lightly. You got a day of rest in between there. Go win that hockey game, and then go on your Christmas break and enjoy your family. So, with that being said, it was a great game. Habs fought, fought, fought. That bomb of Lonnie broke another stick tonight on Cider. Cider's had stick issues against Lonnie big time. That shot's got a lot of pep on it. He gets a lot of velocity and accuracy. I love that. I'd like to see more guys work on that. And I think young Slav is getting to watch this, and for some reason, you're starting to see Slav is picking it up. It's like he's getting energized from seeing this, and I think it's a good thing for him to see. Love again, once again, this carrier guy. Boy, does he fit in there beautifully. I like I say, I'm not sold on the Matheson Hudson pairing. It's costing a lot of goals against. Yes, they're beautiful to watch, and yes, Matheson has the speed to cover him. But yes, no one's talking about. Look at the basic stats from the game since they're doing this, and they're getting burnt on that line, that pairing. Period. That's where all the goals are coming from with that two pairing. Hudson's got some definite issues to work out, and so does Matheson. Very similar things, but to allow players to walk right in front of the net, that happened about 3 or 4 times last night. I was totally blown away with it. Very impressed with Jack Eye's game. Um, and Savard didn't have. I think Savard's in a much better position being in that third pairing. I think it's a wise choice to keep him there. That's a little more his chair. Caden Gooley played a real strong game as well. And I think he's enjoying having a partner that's got a better skill set and effort level with having and experience that Carrier brings. This guy is, I think he's exactly what the Habs needed, a shot in the arm just to help settle them down in the back end. Anyway, with that being said, excuse me, I have a cold, so kind of battling that right now. Anyway, thank you for joining me. You've seen it here at Center Heights Productions, where the puck drops first, and we will be back after with the review of the Columbus game, and then we'll be going through to having the Christmas break. All right, so thank you for joining me. We'll catch you then. God bless. Go Habs, go.